Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, sorry about that. I promise we are doing better this year, I promise. So this week's video is going to be a reading vlog, but also kind of a reset vlog. In terms of reading this year, I feel like my goals are going to be a bit different. I know I definitely don't want to set a reading goal in terms of number. Ignore the buzzball, it was New Year's Eve. I don't want to set a number of books, how many books I want to read this year. I'm not interested in doing that. It's more that I need to get reading back into a daily habit. I need to be reading a little bit every day. It doesn't matter how much I read. I think with this channel I put pressure on myself into like, you have to read 3 books per reading vlog to make it good. No, I don't. I can read however much I want, respectfully. I know that that's going to be my goal rather than a number. And then in terms of this week specifically, getting back into reading, I was telling my cousin when she was up for a little bit around Christmas that I just hadn't been reading, I wasn't interested in reading, and I'd started books and never finished them. And she suggested that it would be quite nice to just read them in the new year, just to kind of round off last year's reading. So I have a couple. I have, the first one is the one that I was telling her about that I was most disappointed in myself that I didn't finish, and it was Jane Eyre, because I was really enjoying this. I'd fully tabbed it, we'd been annotating. Let me find a good page to show you. Like, I was teaching myself this book because my favourite subject at school was English, and I loved the English lit lessons because we would be annotating books like in this style. So I was doing that and I was really enjoying it, but I just gave it up and we had this much left. So I read the other day for like 3 pages and I was like, no, this is going to be so easy to get back into. Let's make a reading vlog of it. I don't know why I never finished it. I can't explain myself. We all know I have ADHD around here. It's probably one of those like hyper focused and then don't care anymore. So I want to finish this week. That would be really great, and it would give, this is the first classic I've read off my own back, and it would be really nice to have that sense of accomplishment. And then I started Law of the Wild. I did start a reading vlog for this. Like, I feel like I have a few clips from it, and I was enjoying this one as well, but I just didn't finish it. I got maybe 40% in. So yeah, I would like to finish these 2 this week. I feel like that would be a good place to start. It would close everything off nicely from last year and then allow me to make some guilt-free reading choices next week. I think I'm going to continue this one. I've got a pretty free day, so there's no pressure. I can just soak this one up until... It's super early in the morning, so I can't talk too loud, but I just wanted to update that I did finish Jane Eyre last night and I loved it. I think with this being my first classic since school, so we're talking 6 years ago, 7 years ago, this was a really easy classic to get back into them. Now obviously with me being in this awful reading slump, I'm not gonna prioritise classics, but I do know that I want to read at least maybe 2 more this year because they are just a bit trickier to read and get into. But I also know that I would want to do something like this again because I personally really enjoyed that, but then that does take more time to get through the book. But I did enjoy this story. Honestly, I feel like it was really nice seeing what other people said about it, but I think I would truly need a teacher to teach me this to really feel the emotions of it, because I enjoyed it and it was interesting, but I don't feel attached to anybody in it. There were parts that I really enjoyed and definitely things that will stick with me, which I think is why these books become classics. Yeah, I do feel like with classics there's almost like a certain way you feel like you have to feel or think when you read the books, because they're just so renowned and everybody has the same feelings towards them. But I do know my mum didn't enjoy this one too much, so that's interesting. I feel like this was a good starting point, but I'm gonna find other classics that I like more than this one. That's my feelings on it at the moment. I did enjoy it though, and to be honest, I'm just so happy that I finished a book. Like, that 2 months ago was out of sight. Tonight when I get back from work, I'm gonna try get stuck back into Law of the Wild, because I was enjoying this as well. I got to page 133, so like quite a way into it, and I feel like I still remember what happens in it, so hopefully this will be easy to get back into. I'm about to head to work now, so, and I don't take my book with me, but maybe I should start doing that. I feel like I just get embarrassed, because if anybody asks me what I was reading, it's not always great. But I'm really glad that I finished Jane Eyre. If you've read Jane Eyre, let me know your thoughts on it, because I don't know, I just like to hear what people think about it. I honestly think my favourite part was all the references of Mr. Rochester calling her a fairy. I loved that. Like, that genuinely, every time that happened, I was happy. But yeah, I did enjoy that, and it feels nice that that's now wrapped up and closed, because I was always kind of annoyed at myself that I hadn't finished it, and I was thinking, why did you do that? Now we're done. So yeah, going to head to work now, and I'll probably check in with you later tonight. Good morning, lovelies. I am feeling really good today. I think it's because I read loads last night, and it's also a snow day, so I'm working from home today. I'm meant to be working right now, but I just thought I would give you a little update. I actually wanted to show you the snow. We're going to do that. It's so snowy, so I obviously was not going to drive in there. Last night I sat down with Law of the Wilds and really got back into it. I'm now on page 243, which is quite good, but what I will say is I'm not enjoying it. I think I considered DNF'ing it, but then I thought, actually I'm curious to see what the plot line is, but the writing has just taken a turn for the worse. And do you know what it feels like? It feels like it's been so over edited and so like overthought that it's not flowing. And I feel like, do you know how Emily Henry writes really nicely, and she's got really nice similes and like really nice references to things and how things felt? I think that's what this is trying to do. Like, every sentence is trying to be like a Pinterest quote, and I just can't get on board with that. The scenes between characters feel unnatural because of the way they're speaking to each other, but also she's like, isn't she? Yeah. She's focusing on like every single detail. Like, I don't need to know whether he or she looked in their lap before they looked up at the person. Like, I don't need that level of detail personally. I can understand needing detail in terms of shifting scenes and wanting to show certain body languages, but it was just not relevant. And like, you zoom in too far into the moment where I'm just thinking this sounds silly. So I've not been enjoying that. I also think it's one of those that, like, obviously it's a shorter fantasy book, but everything is just working out. But it's not reasonable, because like, she's made this friend, started telling her life story after an hour and a half. Like, you don't do that. So I'm not enjoying it, but I do want to see what happens. So there was also one part where she was like, oh, if only I could save the world. What are you on about? So not enjoying it, but I don't have that much left, and I think the pride I'm feeling that I've nearly finished this is bringing me through. So I think maybe on my lunch break I'll try to get through a bit more of this and then update you. But I'm just so happy that I will have finished 2 books this week after not reading, honestly, since maybe, I think it's been at least 6 months, maybe even more, which is some kind of joke. But those are my thoughts on this. I will update you when I've finished it, or maybe when I've finished my day at work. I have finally finished Lore of the Wilds. It didn't take me long because I must say that the very last bit I was skim reading because I think I just knew this book wasn't for me. But the point of this video and this reading vlog was to get me into the habit of reading again, and I've done that. I've finished 2 books this week, which is insane considering my slump. However, this one wasn't for me. It just kind of fell a bit flat. I think the writing was a bit cringe. I really enjoyed the start. I think that was probably the best part, was like there's an enchanted library, and that part I really liked. With this being my first cozy fantasy I've ever read, I think I wouldn't shy away from them just based off this one because I did enjoy the beginning of it. It just kind of got worse and worse. But yeah, it's a shame. But at least I know it's not for me. And at least I've started incorporating reading more into my everyday, which was the point of this video. So I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog here because I am going to try and do them weekly. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to be starting a new one tomorrow, which hopefully you will all tune in for next week. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for bearing with me. And yeah, I guess I will see you next week. Bye.